On Earth, there is an extremely mysterious tomb. Not only does it have an army of nearly 10,000 pottery soldiers. Even deep inside, buried is the Grand Earth Palace that no one dares to dig so far. And there are hundreds of burial pits around it. This is the largest tomb in the world, the Mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang. And what secret does it hide? As early as 1974, several villagers located in Lintong County, Shaanxi Province were digging wells. A few pottery figurines like real people were dug up accidentally. When archaeologists arrived at the site for investigation, this allowed the terracotta warriors, which had been silent for more than 2,000 years, to see the light of day again. This is composed of 3 soil pits of different sizes. And within it, it is a terracotta warrior standing with more than 8,000 heads raised and arranged neatly into battle formations. The front row is the archers. Behind are rows of armed soldiers holding spears. There are as many as 130 combat vehicles at the end. Very spectacular, although the terracotta warriors we see now, like a dusty face, but according to archaeological data at that time, terracotta warriors were first unearthed. In fact, they are all gorgeous and dazzling colored pottery figurines. Because after contact with air, make the pigment above quickly oxidize. This loses the original color. Not only that, every soldier here is unique. Large to body structure, as small as clothing crown belt. Thousands of people and faces. Different. So, facing such a huge and lifelike sculpture, how did the craftsmen do it at that time? For this, archaeologists use 3D technology to restore manufacturing process. First, the craftsmen will be divided into 3 groups. A set of legs created on a rotating lathe. The other 2 groups make arms and head respectively. And then it is made into a circle of long strips of clay. Then use hand-carving exquisite patterns. Then, put other parts of the body into the kiln for high-temperature firing. Finally assemble the parts together, and glazed the terracotta figurines, to ensure that all the soldiers produced are flawless. Also stamp the maker's emblem on it. Once the problem is found, will punish craftsmen, but strangely, at that time, most armor was made of leather. But the armor on the terracotta warriors, but it is composed of more than 600 stone flakes and copper wires. Archaeologists speculate, these may all belong to Qin Shi Huang's underworld weapons, to prevent revenge after death, in order to provide stone armor to the souls of the dead warriors. Enable them to fight side by side with the terracotta warriors, thus creating an underground empire with immortal rule. But the problem is, the commander-in-chief of the army is not here. Archaeologists then used geophysical exploration, methods combined with archaeological exploration. Finally discovered, the owner of the tomb was buried under a hill 1.6 kilometers west. And according to historical records, simulated internally, first, the walls outside the tomb are made of rammed earth 40 meters high. There is an extremely mysterious and exquisite luxury tomb Kulda, and this is the place where Qin Shi Huang was buried. Not only are there a large number of rare treasures hidden in it, there is also a picture of the Mercury River, and the giant landscape composed of the bronze golden mountains. At the same time, archaeologists found that after testing nearby soils, closer you are to the core area, the higher the mercury content does become. This indirectly proves the existence of the Mercury River. So, why did Qin Shi Huang use highly toxic metal to decorate the tomb? This is because the ancients have always pursued immortality. In addition to the Taoist yin and yang alchemy method at that time, can turn cinnabar into mercury, then turn back to cinnabar. Such a closed cycle, to metaphor for the art of rebirth. So I mistakenly took mercury containing highly toxic. It's considered a pill that can make people immortal, and placed in the tomb. In this way, Qin Shi Huang can carry out the so-called resurrection. With further exploration, archaeologists also found 99 burial pits around the tomb. But surprisingly, although the tomb is empty, but there are incomplete bones scattered in the tomb passage. And this is the famous tyrant, the masterpiece of Qin Tu Hu Hai. After Qin Shi Huang's death, Hu Hai launched a coup and usurped the throne, and ordered all the concubines of the late emperor to be executed. Afterwards, he was buried randomly in a nearby tomb passage, and the question about whether Qin Shi Huang's remains still there, archaeologists speculate through Mrs. Xin Zui in the Han tomb of Mwangdui. Although it has been more than 2,000 years, but Mrs. Xin Zhao's whole body is still moist. The muscles are elastic. It is only 50 years since Qin Shi Huang's death. Therefore, as the ruler at that time, Qin Shi Huang, it is very likely that his body will be treated the same way. However, due to the current limitations, the technology for preserving and saving cultural relics is not sufficient. So far, no excavation of its tomb has been carried out. On a certain day in the future, when we have the ability to open the Mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang, is it really as luxurious as Sima Qian said? There will be another scene that we can't imagine at all. Maybe it's only then